Hey guys, so I was going to film a tutorial for you on this look, but it didn't really work out, so I figure we'll just like talk about something else. So I wanted to talk to you guys actually about like, just because I think it's really important. I think it's really important for like especially younger kids right now, even because there's it's like an epidemic right now. So this is how I feel. I started using when I was 16, and I was using heroin, and it was like a really, really rough and shitty road for me. I went from sniffing it to shooting it like a week later, and my life instantly went downhill, like instantly. I started stealing from my friends, from my family, and I luckily did not get any diseases. I never shared needles or anything like that. But I was homeless. I was in and out of jail a lot. I lost all respect, all trust, all my friends, all my family. Nobody wanted to be around me. Whenever I was around, everybody was like worried, like what's she gonna do? Like, is she gonna like freak out, or is she gonna like get arrested? Are the cops gonna come today? Like, and then the worst part was like my mom was always like, is she gonna die today? So it was really probably, I wouldn't say I regret it now because it made me who I am. It made me a better person. But if if one person could just like look at my life and choose not to do drugs because of what's going on, then I feel like I served my addiction like served some type of purpose. Now from using for so long, I have endocrine issues. I have all sorts of issues going on. Like medically, I'm really sick all the time. It sucks. I've been sober for a couple years now, and I'm still earning trust back. I'm still an outpatient. Like it's something that like you will carry with you for the rest of your life. And it might seem fun at first, but it's really not. It sucks. It's a crappy life. And I really hope that it's just sad to see like the younger generation, like, and everybody like getting so into drugs. It's really, really sad. It sucks. And that's like actually when I stopped using is when I started to get into makeup, and that was like a lifesaver for me. It really was. I would say like try and, if you're all right, so being an addict is kind of like having a hobby, like that's like your hobby. I would say if you could try and pick up a new hobby, you know what I mean, like something different, you know, like anything anything, like, but I don't know. It put me like I was homeless and out of jail. Like now I still have like no friends, and I'm still struggling every day. I mean, it's not like I want to get high or anything. Like I want to, but I struggle like with the fact that like my family still like worries, and they still like, if I'm like overtired one day or something, or like if I don't like get a hold of my mom one day, she'll like be really worried about it. But it comes with the territory. That's what it is. And one of the biggest things is like, I know a lot, okay, and this is for like parents too, parents, siblings, anybody of an addict. There is a scientific evidence behind this. If somebody never, ever, ever accuse somebody of using unless, if when they're in treatment, I want to say. And this is why. For example, a lot of people think that like, how do I explain this? Okay, a lot of people think like that if they're sober at the time and people are accusing them of using, a lot of people feel like, okay, well, if they're gonna accuse me of doing it, I might as well be doing it. And there is actually scientific proof behind that states that people really, it's not that they really do feel that way, but it really like triggers something in your brain, and that's what makes a lot of people relapse, is like, and it's not even, I want to say, yes, it's a choice, but there's psychology behind it, that like those type of statements like end up causing or encouraging in a certain way using. So that's my one thing is, I mean, unless if someone's in sobriety and you see they're doing good and you just get mad one day, don't jump right to that. Don't jump right to, oh, you're on drugs or you're whatever. Another thing and I know this is oh my God, this is annoying, this stupid phone. Another thing that like is really like kind of a big deal, for me it is, and for a lot of people I know, is when somebody's in active addiction, you cannot force them out of it. You can't. Calling the cops on them is not going to help. Having them arrested, not going to help. Forcing them into a program, not going to help. They're going to want to have to do it on their own. And the more that you harass them and the more that you try and call them out and all that, the worse it's going to be. The more they're going to rebel, the more they're going to try and get high. You literally just need to let it run its course. And as hard as that is to hear, you just do. You need to let it run its course. And then, because if you push it on them, yeah, maybe they will go to rehab, but you know what? It's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work. Normally the first time doesn't work anyways. But I just feel like a lot of people have such a negative outlook on addiction, and such like it's disgusting, it's gross, it's something that you never know until you're there. It's something that you can't comment on unless you've been there. You know what I mean? Like, you really can't. But I do know that I talk to a lot of parents of kids who are using, and I try and tell them all the time, like, don't put the pressure on them, because they'll run and they'll potentially overdose. Or it's almost like it's like the whole thing about addiction is it's almost like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Like, if somebody that you love wants money to get high, and you know that if you give it to them they're going to get high, but then if you know that you don't, you know that they're potentially going to get themselves killed trying to get money for drugs. And it's a really, really hard cycle. I know that towards the end, my mom did the best that she could for me. But we were very open about it at the end. Like, I would be like, Mom, I'm going to get high. Like, please just, like, I'll be back. Like, I let her know so that she would know. Like, so that she wasn't worried. She wasn't afraid. You know what I mean? Like, as much as it, like, sucked, I'd be like, this is what I'm going to do, and I will call you to let you know that I'm okay. Like, and that's just what I did. And I don't know. And for me, I feel like one day I woke up and I was just like, I really don't want to do this anymore. And you know why that happened? Because my mom let it go. My dad let it go. And I just was on my own doing what I wanted. And I got bored of it very quickly without anybody harassing me or telling me to stop. On my own, I got bored of it very quickly. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. A lot of people feel like it's kind of like people with drinking. Like, you drink, and then once you turn 21, you don't want to drink anymore, you know? So it's like, or I don't know, not saying everyone's like that, but that's how I feel. And it sucks because there's like statistically, there's an airplane going by, sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Statistically, there's a very, very small percentage of people who make it out of addiction alive, or not being, jail, institution, death. But and it sucks to think that, like, maybe your kid might be a part of the bigger percentage, and it's like a big chance, but at the same time, it's almost like the things that you think may be productive are actually very counterproductive. You don't want to, if you see a rabid animal, you don't want to go up and poke it with a stick. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to, and it's almost like, it's hard, it's really, and I'm saying this, I'm not saying, just let people do drugs. Like, no, kick them out of the house, whatever. Don't let them steal your shit. Don't let them take advantage of you. But if you want, this is just my advice from somebody who used for a very long time on methadone 3 times, on suboxone. I've done everything. I've tried everything. Finally now, like, I'm good. But it took a really long time, and I've learned, and I've known a lot of people, and for me, this is just my advice to parents and families. If you love somebody who's using, offer them help, but do not try and force it on them, because it'll totally backfire, and it could potentially send them spiraling into something even worse than they were in before. So I just want to talk to you guys about that a little bit, just because it sucks. And my I was listening to somebody tell me the other day about their kid who was using, and she was like, I don't know what to do. She said, I think that she said, and I had actually talked to her kid, and they're honest with me, because from one addict to another, you know what I mean? He's not gonna lie and tell me he ain't using, so. And he told me what was up. He said that he was not using, but his mom had messaged me and told me, I don't know what to do. I think that he's using, and I want to force him back into a program. And I was like, listen, I said, you cannot force anyone into a program. You do that, he's going to literally run. And then you won't know where he is. And then you won't know if he's dead behind a dumpster somewhere. And I know sometimes I've heard a lot of parents say they almost think it would be easier if they were just dead. And that's hard. That's a hard thing to admit to, but I understand why people say it. I get it. Like, is it worse to worry every day and not know, or is it better to know? You know what I mean? So it's tough. I mean, if any of you guys out there ever have any family members or friends who are in addiction, who have ever put themselves in bad situations, and you want to talk about it, feel free to message me. I love to try and help other people as much as I can in this situation. I feel like I really want to try and turn this into something positive, like what I did to myself, into something positive for somebody else. I feel like if that's like the least that I can do, you know what I mean? But yeah. So I just want to talk to you guys about that for a little bit, and stuff like that. I wish that I had Martin Luther King Jr. Wow, I just had a moment. I wish I had that day off. A lot of people do, but we don't. Addiction doesn't stop for holidays, so we have to go to outpatient on Monday. But I really like everybody there. It's nice. And even though I've been sober for a while, I still like to go because it's refreshing and it's a reminder of why not to do what I did. I know I keep telling you guys I'm super excited for IMATs coming up, definitely. Today's kind of one of those weird days for me, you know what I mean? I really did try and film a makeup video for you guys for once, and it did not work. It did not work at all. Yeah, I'm still looking for a camera. If any of you guys have any suggestions on a camera, please let me know. It's late here. It's about almost 5 o'clock. The sun's starting to go down and the moon is coming up, and long ago somebody lived with no, okay. But yeah, no, it's starting to get dark out here, and it's so lonely here at my house. It really is. I have nobody here, ever since I moved in here. I've had no company, nothing, and it kind of sucks, but it's whatever. And I'm trying really, really, really hard for this vegan thing, and no one is helping me. Somebody please help me. I'm begging you. I want to do it so bad, and I know that other vegans want to support other vegans, but hello, here I am. Please help me. I want to do it for not just for myself, but for animals, and a lot of reasons. I don't know. I just want to. But this hoodie is so gross. I've had this my whole life, literally since I was in 6th grade. It's crazy. But that's about it. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, about addiction and how it's hard, and if you are an addict and you're actively using right now, or if you're sober right now, just keep reminding yourself that you are so much stronger than you know, because you have already been through so much, I'm sure, in your life, from the lifestyle that comes with it. Just to still be alive makes you a strong person, and that everybody can do it. And I you know what? I hate to say it, but sometimes I am an advocate for methadone. I feel like if you've tried everything, and it's coming down to you're going to die if you don't do something, then you might as well try a maintenance program, because it's always going to be the lesser of two evils. It's not going to kill you. It's going to give you something to get by while you're building your life again, and then you can just taper off after. But some people need that. If you're doing pills, I would not suggest getting on methadone, because it's like 100 times worse, and you're gonna have a hell of a time getting off of it, and you probably won't even want to get off of it. I see a lot of people, because the outpatient I go to is actually outpatient, a methadone, and a suboxone program. So I see a lot of people come in there and they're like, oh, I did pills for like a year and shot heroin for a week, and now here I am on like 150 milligrams of methadone. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why not get on suboxone or something like that? Why would you do that to yourself? You just like totally you jumped from one to something so much worse. I mean, methadone is not easy. It's not easy to come off of. I had to come off really fast one time to go to jail, and it was bad. The first 20 milligrams they dropped, I felt it, and I didn't go back. I instantly relapsed when that happened. That was a long time ago, but instantly. And the withdrawal lasted the entire time I was in jail, which was about a year. So it was not fun. It wasn't like full-blown withdrawal for the whole year, but my body did not feel right for almost the whole year. It was like 8 months, so that 8 months was hell. For parents, if your kids are on Suboxone, you guys are going to hate me for saying this, but definitely hold on to your kids' scripts, because a lot of people think they can make some money, sell one or two, and the next thing you know, they're short and they're relapsing. So, and then it's hard to go back from drugs to back on a Suboxone, because chemistry-wise, it just does not work like that. It wasn't made to work like that. Subutex, that's something else, but that's mainly for people who are pregnant, I think, or if you have a reaction to the buprenorphine or the naloxone. I don't know. The naloxone, definitely, because buprenorphine is Suboxone. But, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. If you are in the upstate New York area, then I know that there is a new clinic. If you're near Albany, New York, there's a new clinic that just opened up in Albany called Promesa, Camino Nuevo. And there is no cap on their patients right now. There is no cap, which means call, walk in, and you will be getting into that program like ASAP. So at this point, I mean, a lot of people just got to choose if they want to live or not. I mean, and I definitely do. I had way too much go on in my life. I don't want to go back to it. I mean, it was hell. I had times where I went to the neighborhood that I copped at, and me and the person I used to use with, I mean, we used to get jumped for like being assholes. Like, everybody knew that we were a bunch of assholes. Like, and then we were like mean, like, and like I'll never forget, like me and him, but we both got jumped by like 12 people and their mom. Their mom was pregnant, held me on the ground. The whole thing was a disaster. It was a shit show, and like it just like the whole life. I would not go back to that. And it's like, you got to look at these people who are addicts and who are living this way, and instead of being like, ew, they're so gross, just think about like everything they deal with and everything they go through. Like, there's got to be something psychologically wrong for them to put themselves through this type of hell for a drug. Like, that's where you need to sit there and think, like, have a little bit of pity, okay? Because heroin is one of the hardest things to come off of. I can't say anything about coke, crack, anything, because I really didn't mess with any of that, but it's hard. It's really hard. And when you're using, I mean, they need a friend, you know what I mean? Sometimes they really just need somebody to help them out, like give them a hand. Don't give them money, give them a hand, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I still remember when I was homeless, and I was homeless with my significant other, and if I would see another homeless person, I would give them my last dollar, my last cigarette, and he used to be like, why are you doing that? What are you doing? And I'd be like, I don't know, but you know what? I want them to have it. I want them to have my last dollar. I want them to have my last cigarette. And that time in my life of being homeless made me become such a humble person and so grateful for the things that I have now. Just like a roof over my head, and like food in the fridge. Like it's crazy to think about like how much positivity can almost come out of becoming sober from a drug, because when you're using, you literally go through hell, and then when you're sober, it's like you realize like life, like what life really is. Like, you know what life is now. Like, I know what life is now, and it's not what I thought it was before, and this is like real. This is like, and it's short, and it's really short. Life is really fucking short, man. Like, if you think about it, I'm like a little more than a quarter of the way through my life right now. No, you know what? That's if I make it to 100. So if we're like 80, we're talking a third. I don't know. I can't really do math, but it's like, shit, man. Like, that's it. Like, that's all I got left. I want to like make it meaningful. I want to do something. I want to like help other people. And you know what? If the makeup thing doesn't work out for this channel, then I want to start talking to people about addiction and like helping them with that. I want to be able to like, I want to do something with my life. You know what I mean? I want some, I don't know. I don't know. If you guys want to hear more about that, then let me know, and I got a whole bunch of stuff I could talk to you about. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.